Hello, I'm Brian and I'm with Kaizen Dreams. Kaizen, as some of you know, is a word in Japanese that means continual improvement. So, we're here to help you continually improve your dreams because every idea starts with a dream. And we build on those dreams every day with every bit of information that we take in and accumulate. So it's very important that we be conscious of what we absorb towards all the goals and accomplishments that we're trying to achieve. I'm here today to tell you about resources. There are far more resources today than perhaps we've ever had in human history. But who knows, with the destruction of the Library of Alexandria and other creations that have been destroyed through time, we may have had some great inventions and discoveries out there, but I like to think that we really are achieving some of the greatness that humanity never has before. Now, with that in mind, back to resources, I've come across a lot of information in just the past year as I've been building Kaizen Dreams. I've always been one to look for resources and information, but what about cost effectiveness? Where do we find things? A lot of people forget about the library. They forget about just how much potential there is on the internet. If you're asked the right questions, you can find some really intriguing answers. Now, for me, doing a lot of research on books and information, I'm always looking for that interesting subject. So some way that I can improve an area of my life, whether it's business or finance or the creative arts. And recently, the Borders bookstore here was closing, and I'd heard about it and forgot, and I just happened to be in the city for a Toastmasters meeting, one of my first ones actually, learning about their association. And on the way to another client meeting, I saw Borders, and it was the last day of their closing sale. So I decided to stop by, and sure enough, they had a lot of books. And it was either 90% off or $1.49. I'm like, all right, most of the store had been cleaned out. So I'm like, I need to find something here. What treasures can I find? Normally I've been going to thrift stores and flea markets and things just to find little treasures because, let's face it, we don't always have, $50 or $100 or $300 to buy audiobooks or other books. And when you're a beginning entrepreneur, you have to be thrifty, you have to be frugal. So you find what resources you can in your availability. So I went to this store and I found books like Seascape for Conquering the Forces Changing Business Today by Larry Kramer, The Four Agreements, The Canon, right here, Pat Cooper, How Dare You Say How Dare Me. I didn't really know a lot about him. It's comedy, so I figured it might be interesting. And Jerry Seinfeld, Jerry Lewis, Robert De Niro, Jason Alexander, and Billy Crystal all gave him some positive feedback. So for $1.49, I figure it might be worth the cost. Shannon Darty's badass. And normally what is that? Normally a $26 book. Got it for $2 since I figured, it'd be a worthy cause. So I got it, and there's that information. King of Capital. The Remarkable Rise, Fall, and Rise Again of Stephen Schwarzman and the Blackstone. David Carey and Johnny Morris. So that's something should be a little bit interesting. Brave Girl Eating. A family struggle with anorexia. Now, health is always something we should be conscious of. So just as much as I'm trying to not to overeat, trying to learn the other perspective probably is a good resource just to have that in case I get to that area of achievement and people ask me for advice. I can give them both resources. You Can't Predict a Hero, From Wall Street to Leading in Times of Crisis by Joseph J. Grano, Jr. Now, these are just a few books that I found. Other books: Why We Want You to Be Rich by Donald Trump and Robert Kiyosaki. The Thinker's Way by John Chaffee. Those are great books, and I found those in other resources, And, sometimes you've really just got to think out of the box and find resources that work for you. Find places that you find deals and remember them and go to them from time to time when you're looking for those good deals. There's a lot of books that I keep in mind that the book themselves are great, but sometimes the information in the book is even more valuable. Here's a book called The Mentor, the Kid, and the CEO. Now, I've got two versions of this book. One, the paperback's loaned out to my friends. The hardbacks I try to keep because those are ones to me that have the most value. Now, in the back of this book, there is a list of, several hundred suggested readings. Everything from Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich to the Bible, um, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, The Millionaire Mind by Thomas J. Stanley. And these are all just some of the books that I personally read and enjoyed and found tremendous resource from. So I encourage you to remember your resources. There's podcasts on the internet, there's Google, there's magazine subscriptions you can get that are really cost effective, that the resources and the information that you gain from them is priceless. So ask yourself, what's the cost and is it worth it? And if I can't afford this, is there another place that I might be able to acquire information, such as thrift stores or flea markets or closing book sales? Because if you really put your mind to it, you can find that information you want to acquire, or you want to acquire. Thank you so much for checking out this video on Kaizen Dreams YouTube channel. I look forward to next time.